Okay, so now here the little bit more complex example from the book. Let's at first have a look at the functional blocks. We have the first functional block is here, two LFOs, these two LFOs, one LFO self-modulating. You see here this yellow, small, little, tiny yellow cable, and both the output of both LFOs go to the mixer, and from the mixer it goes to the main mixer, and from there, of course, to the audio block. Some words about the quantizer here. I'm using another quantizer, again another, third one in this series so far. And I do so because I want this frequency spectrum or a pitch range of 5 octaves here. Okay, I will explain more about this sequencer later in the book, later in this series of videos. So, but let's return to the functional blocks. This is the first functional block, which goes to the main mixer in the end. We have here additive synthesis, not additive synthesis, oh no, additive or parallel patching of both LFO-CVs. The next functional block we have here, 2 LFOs, and here we have a classical feedback loop. LFO, the upper LFO is modulating the lower one, and the lower one is modulating the upper one. But again, not the result of one, but the result or the output of both LFOs are patched into a mixer again, so it's serial as well as additive. Here, this functional block, and from this this submixer here, it doesn't go at once to the main mixer, but to another LFO. So this functional block here is in series, is modulating this single LFO, and from here it goes to the main audio, a main mixer, and from there to the audio unit, quantizer and audio unit. All right. Let me demonstrate the influence of each functional block. At first, this one here, I fade out the CV coming from this functional block here, these 2 LFOs, these ones. Mix, submixer, main mixer, and the main mixer, in the main mixer I fade this block out. No, longer breaks in the melody occur. This is the main effect, but not the only one, as you hear. I fade it in again. Now the influence of functional block number 2 here, this feedback and parallel and patching. I can't fade out in the main mixer, because there in the main mixer there is also the influence of the single LFO. No, what I do is just I reduce the output level of the mixer, of this submixer here, to 0, which means that this single LFO is not modulated anymore. It simply sends out its triangle wave, as we see here, and this triangle wave adds to the result of the functional block which we had at the beginning here, functional block 1. So what we hear now is functional block 1 and parallel this single LFO outputting a simple triangle wave. let me go back to 0 dB with this modulating feedback additive functional block. Now I want to fade out the whole chain of this functional block and the single LFO, and this I can do in the main mixer again. Now we hear, what we are hearing now is only this functional block here, the self-modulating LFO down here, in addition, parallel to this upper LFO. Both going into the mixer here, the sub-mixer, and go into the main mixer. So let me fade in the lower chain here again and get the full track, the full batch, sorry. And now I could experiment with the different modulation strength using the VCAs or the FM1 knobs in the LFOs. I could try a lot of different frequency relations, and I encourage you to do so indeed, but I won't do this here in this video, otherwise it can take hours and hours. And I can assure you, you get quite interesting results by doing so. All right.